The other night in Orlando, Steve Kerr and Draymond Green had a heated exchange. Here's what likely happened. Draymond committed a costly turnover, then immediately started arguing with the referee. A familiar sight for Warriors fans. Meanwhile, tensions flared between Curry and Green. Was it because of the turnover? Not exactly. Draymond had already been ejected the previous game for a flagrant 2. With referees already watching Draymond closely, why give them another reason to penalize you? The team needs his presence, especially with the Warriors struggling below .500. Every win matters. Despite this, Draymond left the game and headed to the locker room, leaving his teammates shorthanded. Warriors respond immediately. Steph makes 3 big shots in a succession to take the lead. Never delivered a horrible blowout. The magic of back-to-back victories. But after the game, Steve Kerr stated, "Oh, everything is fine." But you could tell he was still upset.
He didn't play the last 20 minutes. Would you have gone back to
No, he wasn't going back in.
He wasn't coming back. Even though Draymond returned from the locker room, it was clear he had abandoned the team in a crucial moment. Steph Curry's reaction said it all. He was visibly frustrated, not with Kerr, but with Draymond, whose lack of self-control cost the team. Remember, Steph once broke down in tears during a game because of Draymond's repeated outbursts. This isn't the first time, as we saw last year against the Magic. While talk of trading Draymond often sounds far-fetched, this time it might be real. The Warriors face several challenges. An aging core and young players who haven't stepped up. Yes, the Warriors have players like Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody, but so far, they've been average at best. Meanwhile, at 37, Steph continues to defy expectations. Most stars, like Kobe, were retired or struggling by this age. Just the other night in Portland, Steph drilled a step-back 3 with a cold, confident stare, breaking 2 records and surpassing Michael Jordan for the most 40-point games after age 30. However, most threes result in a loss. In fact, you drop 87 points in back-to-back games, and Dubs lost both. But how could this happen? I thought Jimmy Butler was supposed to cure everything. He did well during the regular season last year, but you see, Jimmy arrived at the ideal point in his cycle. Yes, Heat fans understand this all too well. Jimmy Butler transforms from not caring about Jim LVP to the second coming of Michael Jordan. Well, last year was right at the MVP stage. And this year's stats appear promising, but if you watch the games, he appears passive. I mean, the Warriors expected Jimmy to dominate when Steph was off the court, but he hasn't. They go from being the 6th ranked offense when Steph is on the court to dead last without him. Not good, but it's not Jimmy's fault. The genuine blunder that may have ruined Steph's final years occurred a long time ago. Most dynasties do not have to go through what Golden State has. In 2019, they lost 2 of their top 3 players simultaneously. Kevin Durant moved to Brooklyn and Klay Thompson suffered an injury. Then during the downturn, they failed miserably in the draft to capitalize. I mean, the James Wiseman bust pick would set most clubs back a decade. Then they used number 7 on Jonathan Kuminga, whom the coaching staff has despised from day one. So having 2 timelines wasn't the plan. It was a wonderful happenstance that they completely messed up. Imagine if the Warriors had hit on those draft picks. Steph could be chasing his 5th or 6th ring, but right now they're not true contenders. Teams like the Nuggets, Thunder, and Rockets would likely beat them in a series. To give Steph one final shot at glory, Golden State needs to pivot, and there are several intriguing trade options on the market. Obviously, Giannis is everyone's number 1, but Anthony Davis with Domantas Sabonis would be incredible. Both men add size. The Golden State need an addition. Dallas may be prone to injuries, but he has performed admirably since his return. You are aware that they have defeated Houston, first place Detroit, and Denver twice. Davis has scored 63 points and 22 rebounds versus Yogurts and the Nuggets. I know some Warriors fans here. Add something like, oh no, was Davis prone to injuries? Are you kidding? He would be an excellent fit for this team. This resolves the majority of their concerns, and Domas isn't bad either. I understand he is not a defender, but he is a high IQ player for Kerr's attack. Plus, he is only 29 years old. There's a reason why 3 All-Stars and 2 All-NBA players were selected. However, both of these individuals are also approachable. The trade price is reasonable when compared to Giannis, but the biggest issue for any team is matching salaries. to the same problem. They would have to deal either Jimmy Butler or Draymond Green. Well, hello. Isn't this the greatest time to finally move Draymond? Trading Draymond makes sense. While he's had great chemistry with Steph, recent games show the Warriors can thrive without him. When Draymond left, the team went on a run. Though still a capable defender, he's become more of a liability, hitting career lows, just 72 field goals, 75 turnovers, and 80 personal fouls, making him the only NBA player with more fouls and turnovers than made shots this season. He's the only one with that dubious distinction. The Warriors are playing better in his absence, and it's clear he's wearing on both Kerr and Steph. If management truly wants to maximize Steph's final years, they need to make a tough call. So what would a trade look like? For example, in a potential deal with Anthony Davis, the Warriors get AD and Klay Thompson, while the Mavericks receive Draymond, Kuminga, and Moses Moody. He will deal Jackson Davis in exchange for 3 firsts. So you are losing a key Warrior, but let's get Klay Thompson back. There was just a lengthy story in ESPN discussing how this could happen. But what better way to get AD? And everyone wants the Warriors to come after Steph, so the Mavs get 3 in this transaction. Now, I'll accept that you'd have to include a third team here to take players due to roster constraints, but the Mavs do this to build their roster. Remember, they received nothing for Cooper Flagg. This is quite helpful, but I also believe Draymond could be what Dallas needs to direct the attack until Kyrie returns. Helps with defense. Jacob Moody discusses Cooper's time frame, and if Warrior supporters despise this, kindly tell me what you would be ready to accept. The other move is Sabonis from SAC, and it takes a little less. So the Warriors get Domas, while the Kings get Draymond JC in control, forcing a far cleaner trade, and we know the Kings like JC. Also, I believe Draymond adds value to Sacramento's defense and attack by coordinating all of their scores. On that note, here's a Warriors trade wish list. Trey Murphy and Herb Jones from the Pelicans, Nick Claxton from the Nets, Daniel Gafford, and even Kobe White for offensive firepower. Some of these targets are more realistic than others, but the bottom line is this. For the first time, trading Draymond Green feels genuinely possible. He is no longer good enough to warrant the emotional baggage, and he holds the key to making Steph's final big move. However, the Warriors, like many other clubs, despise Dillon Brooks. Brooks is enjoying a fantastic season in Phoenix, but how is the NBA's worst villain getting his revenge?